if I didn't have my cell phone in the morning, I could remember one night I went out with my buddies and he went back to his condo and I'm like fully clothed and I'm face down on the ground. And it's like, you know how like in the movie you're like the guy's laying there and he's like the hangover and he's start cracking his eyes and like he's refocusing and all of a sudden I see this dude standing over me and he's brushing his teeth.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, yo, dog, you gonna get up, man? Like, I was like, what happened? He's like, yo, you passed out. I just left you there. You didn't want to get up. I was like, man, let's go get breakfast, man. This is not over yet. It's just torturing your body, just torturing your body, man. It was, trust me, I went hard. If you get around some of my friends, I'll be, you think you're getting the PG version right now.
I see that.
I'm gonna just say that. Yeah. Don't, that's why I am the way I am. And, we're in this space of entrepreneurship. We're in this space of veterans. We're in this space of leadership. We're in this space of professionalism. But I've come to a realization with myself. I don't have to front with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like you're gonna get what you can get. Like I know how to put on a suit and speak properly in front of an audience, but when you're hanging out with me, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna have a good time. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna curse. If you're not comfortable with that, don't come hanging around me. I'm not saying I curse like a sailor all the time, but when I need to emphasize a point or get my point across, especially all of us, in combat arms, infantry, Rangers, Green Beret, SEALs, we throw a F-bomb really quick. Like it'd be like he'll say 50 words and 40 of them are F-bombs. Like, yo, and you understand everything he said. That's just the lingo. It's like he just everyone a bleep, like, yeah, all right, I won't do it again. That's usually how that ends. But no, I like it. That's why you said it. I'm gonna leave my videos up there because it's real. People need to. Nobody lives in glass houses here. People just need to relax a little bit, and just, you are a person. You're not. I'm not Green Beret. I'm not PMP. That's some things I've done. No, I'm Chris McPhee. And by the way, I happen to serve in the military and I'm a veteran and I've done this and I have this skill. Those are your skills.
Yeah.
That's not who you are. And that's what a lot of people do, hide behind those skills that they've developed and portray themselves as that when that's not really them.
So you brought up a good point. Now, how were you able to walk away or retire after 21 years and still be yourself without feeling like you lost your identity? Because like you said, the Army and all these things, they are part of you. They're part of your skills, but they're not you. You are Chris, not, who you were in the military. So how did you do that?
That's a good question because over the years I've thought back to where I originated from, my upbringing. Like I said, I didn't know anything about special forces as a kid. Only movies I remember of special operations is like Delta Force with Chuck Norris or Steven Seagal, with Under Siege, one of my favorite movies. But for me, I just looked at it as a job. It was just a tool to get me to the next step. And I was just on my way, or thought like, I just want to be successful at this, for the inner cities of Dade County, where a lot of kids either go to drugs or they get shot. So I'm the oldest child, so I'm trying to set an example for my two younger brothers and do whatever I need to do to help support my mom and, my extended family. So for me, it was never like, oh yeah, I'm this guy, I'm a Green Beret. Like, no, I never took on the persona. It's like that's what I do.
Mm.
But I'm Chris McPhee, people's like, no, he's a Green Beret. Like, no, I'm Chris McPhee. you know, I, and because really another part of that helped me realize that, because when I tell all my friends now who are crossing the bridge, they're transitioning. When you go to work in a space that's not military anymore, in the civilian sector, yeah, you might have some veterans there, but you might be the only guy who did this. Like, when you're working in an office where you're the only guy and people figure out what you did, and that's one thing I don't talk about it. I don't wear it. I've had people call me a couple of times in DM. It's like, hey man, you a Green Beret meaty? Are you really a Green Beret? Like, I've had that. People have called me, and I was like, yeah, man. Like, and I just laugh because I know it. It's intentionally done that way. And they're like, I say, well, I start laughing. I go, I was like, why are you asking? He's like, I don't see it anywhere. Like, I could go through your stuff. I just don't see it. Besides the name, I don't see it. Like, no, I got war story photos, but I choose not to project that on my Facebook page. I choose not. If you really dig deep, you'll find something, and that's done intentionally. But if you say, hey, are you really such and such, then that's for us to have a conversation and you to get to know me, and we'll talk about that. But if you do a little homework, you'll see. I think more now everybody gets it. Like, oh yeah, he's legit, because a lot of other people have said it. Yeah, he is who he is, and I've been validated. I got photos. I post a photo now and then, and people are like, oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember he said he was a Green Beret. All right, cool. I'm okay. He's not faking it. There's a lot of stolen valor out here.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I learned. I tell my friends, and I tell myself, and this is where, to all the listeners out there, and I'm gonna keep it real, team room talk style. Nobody gives a fuck what you did when you show up to that new place. Yeah. Because you're the new guy, you're the new gal. Nobody cares about what you did right out the gate. If you don't, they've already sized you up before you step in the building. Oh, so don't walk in there, especially you just spotlight yourself as a target when you walk in and say, yeah, I was a veteran, I was a Green Beret, I done went here and I went there. You just spotlighted yourself, because now they see you as a threat. So they're gonna rally up and do everything they can to make sure you're not winning. Because now you're the person in the circle now who could take away food from them. It's a survival thing. It's a group, it's a pack thing. Yeah. It's not done intentionally. That's just how we are as human beings. So that's why we are. So what I do, I don't lead with that, because that's not me. I don't want to scare people or have them come up of their vision or their thoughts of who I am and how I think, just based off of what I said, or projected to them, like, oh, I'm this. Like, oh yeah, he must be crazy. I heard about those guys. They're crazy. They'd be like, you ever kill anybody? That question.
Oh my God.
It is what it is, so that's why I don't. And people tell me, like, man, I would have never thought. I was like, yeah, that's good. Then I'm doing my job. I'm doing it right.
That's true. They need to get to know you first before they start Yeah. Oh my God.
No, no.
So you mentioned, okay, Green Beret Media. So
Hmm.
when did that come into play? How did you decide this is what I want to do?
So, quick story. I retired and I went to be an Intel analyst for about a year and a half. And towards that end, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a media company. I need a new business. I want to do something else because I wasn't happy with the deploying still. Yeah, I was making great money. Like, I don't regret working that job, but it got to a point where it was like still in that mental cycle of deploying. I need to deploy. I need to deploy. Not utilizing and looking at my skills I had that I could do something else. I did have another company I started prior to um, transitioning in government contracting, which I worked as an independent contractor doing role play and training and instruction, back to the service of teaching the new troops how to do those things and how to be an operator.
Mm.
So I started that company and I did that when I had open space because it's 1099 independent contractor work. So it's not W-2 every day. But I was like, you know what? After meeting Rod Rodriguez in Kuwait, because we worked together, and he was the person who introduced me to podcasting and who Gary Vaynerchuk was.
It was all
So,
over from there.
that's where the idea of like, you know what, this whole video world, the social media world of being a creative, like that's where I started looking at it, and I was like, man, this is fun. Like this, and you can make money doing this. Like, oh, okay, So I left him there at the end of my rotation and started it, and just little by little figured it out. Watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, learned from him, definitely with podcasting, and I came to the conclusion, hey, I knew a lot about project management. And so that's what I started vlogging on Facebook with, project management. Green Beret Media was still, I like now today, it started off like, hey, I'm shooting documentaries. I want to be a filmmaker, but didn't know how to shoot a film. So this was in 2017. Fast forward now to 2020. I've shot headshots. I produced, music videos, helped the band release their first album, shot all the videos, shot an NFL, shot with Greg Buda at NASCAR, many nice headshot, monster.com, authors, military.com, authors, a couple of big companies, 15, 20 headshots at a time, just perfecting my craft. So now I'm back to filmmaking, because all of that you have to understand if you want to be a filmmaker. You have to understand photography. You have to understand composition. You have to understand. You have to develop your creativities and understand what a wide shot is, a medium shot. A close shot. What's establishing shot. You have to go through that, and that's where I've been doing for the last. So now I'm coming back to where I started my thought, and it's happening. It's happening.
That's awesome. So, what do you think sets you apart from other people in this entertainment industry? I know what sets you apart, and I could tell people what I see. But what do you think you see?
What sets me apart? I think the biggest thing for me, because people see me and they're like, well, you're a photographer. It's like, well, a lot of people don't know that I have other stuff going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm living this, you got I'm your podcaster, I'm your camera guy, you got the PMP Pocket Man. Those are like, my nickname is Smurf. Those are like my little archetypes that have developed in my persona. And for me, I'm just literally having fun.